Oh, today's a big day. Today is the 120th day of the year 2021, which makes us think of 120-minute world's strongest IPA. And I rated the Lost Ark today and found what I think is the best vintage of 120 ever. But of course, every year, if you cellar it, yours will become the best vintage ever. It's a sensory thing, so it's completely subjective. Beauty's in the eye of the beer holder, and I'm about to hold this beer. So 120 Minute is the kissing cousin of Worldwide Stout. We set out to brew the strongest beer in the world, I think in 98, and we nailed it with Worldwide Stout in 99. For a while, that vintage I think was 18% ABV and held the title of strongest beer in the world. And then Dogfish Sam Adams kind of went back and forth on that title. Utopias is now the strongest single beer in the world, but Worldwide Stout's the strongest stout. And a few years after that, starting in 2003, we started brewing the strongest IPA, 120-minute IPA. Every year varies kind of between 16, 18, 19% ABV. And it is a beautiful aging beer because both alcohol and hop levels act as a preservative in beer. So anyone can cellar 120 as you would a fine Bordeaux wine. Our recommendations for cellaring it is as long as it's in a cool, doesn't have to be cold, a cool, dark place. It doesn't have to be vertical or horizontal, but cool, dark place does matter, especially like sub 70 degrees. The older it gets, the better it gets. What you will see is differences between fresh 120 and aged 120. Fresh 120s almost like 90-minute in its color. It's more like golden in its hue, but in time, the beer does oxidize. That oxidation is going to bring some darker color into the beer, but it's also going to bring more candied sort of sherry notes of oxidation. So the hop profile drops in 120 after I'd say year 3, year 4, year 5. But what comes forward is this beautiful orange marmalade richness and complexity along with the darkening of the color of it. Wow, I really missed this beer. So good to be drinking it again. And what's really heartwarming is to see how many other folks miss this beer. And we've been checking out our social channels on that, and basically the customer's always right, and the customer voted, and we're bringing 120 Minute back in 2022. Paul and the design team, they're gonna have a lot of fun, do something really funky and memorable to evolve the label. But 120 is coming back in 2022. Cheers.